Hey everyone, happy Halloween. Just wanted to share something with you today. Recently I found out about Google Fonts. Google Fonts, I know you guys love to customize your web pages by using different cool fonts and adding cool effects to those fonts. And so I just found out about Google Fonts, which will enable you to do all of that. It's like a library of 809 fonts and lots of different cool effects you can add to those fonts. So I'm actually going to do sort of a Halloween quick website here. I'll show you this website that I just made for Halloween, and something you guys can try as well, and you can use it to play around with Google Fonts. So let me share my screen with you, and we'll get started. I'll show you how this works. So you should be able to see my screen now. I'm up here in the top right corner if you need to look at me, but I'm just talking. So the website that I created today was this. I've got my dancing pumpkin GIF here, and then I've got this Google font right here. So this is pretty easy to make. It looks pretty cool. There's lots of different effects you can do, and this like fiery one was pretty cool. So I thought it was very Halloweenish. So pretty simple here. Let me show you the code that lies behind all this. So the code here is I've got my title in my head here, my title, so you can see that up here, Happy Halloween, right? Then this is the code, a little bit of code here that links my HTML file, which is on the left side of my screen. It links my HTML file to my CSS file, everything over here. So when I typed in body over here, that corresponds to the body over here. The H1 on the left side corresponds to the H1 on the right side. The image on the left side corresponds to the image stuff on the right side. So I can style all the different things I put in my HTML here in my CSS file here. So most of that stuff is pretty straightforward. I think most of you guys have seen this stuff. But something that will be new for you guys is this Google Font stuff. So little did you know, you can actually use multiple CSS files onto one HTML file. So this code right here, this is the code given to me by Google to use this specific font and that specific font effect, the fire animation. And you can see right here, the name of the font is actually Sand Creek, S-A-N Creek, and then the effect, which is and effect, equals fire animation. And I'll show you where I got that from. I didn't just make that code up. I went to fonts.google.com. It's right here, fonts.google.com. And you can see I'm viewing 809 of 809 font families. I'm looking at all the fonts here. But you can use a little search bar on the top to sort of narrow it down if you know the name of the font. But a lot of times you may not really know the name of the font. So let's say that you're looking for a font that's really, really thick, right? So maybe you'll click on this thickness bar. You want to find a font that's really, really thick. Okay, so I'm going to slide my slider over here and check it out. These are all the different fonts that are pretty thick. These are big, bold fonts. And maybe you would use these fonts for, I don't know, for like the title of a web page or something, or for a big header. This is pretty cool, Frihole. It's pretty cool. So, or maybe you want to find that's really thin, right? You can slide the slider over to the left side, and these are all really, really thin fonts. You can also sort them by the amount of slantiness, the width of them. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to kind of just surf around and see what types of fonts are out there and what you want to use. When you do find a font you like, so for instance, I found Sand Creek. I liked that one, right? So Sand Creek, here it is, Sand Creek. So what you have to do is you would just go to clear all, okay. You just go to Sand Creek here, and you should have like this little plus button. And by the way, you can select multiple fonts. So you click this plus button, it selects the font, and then it adds it to like essentially like a little font shopping cart in a way down here. It's all free though, so maybe shopping cart's not the best word, but little font basket. It adds it to that little font basket down here, and it just stores it down there. And then you can keep surfing around and find other fonts you like. I only like Sand Creek, so I just use Sand Creek. Once you have as many font families as you want to use, you just click on this, and it literally gives you the code to copy and paste into your HTML. So you can take this right here, hit copy, Command C, Control C, right? And then you paste it in right here. So that's exactly what I did. I just, bam, pasted it in right here. So notice that this does not have that font effect yet, right? This is just the font at the moment. So got that, and then in my CSS, right, it says put this in your CSS under whatever you want that font to be. So for me, I had that H1 that I wanted, that H1 that said Halloween, that header. So I went in under my header in the CSS, and I just wrote font family, Sand Creek cursive. So that's pretty straightforward. So you can tell, I'm going to save this so you can see. So you can see, but just by doing that, I've got the font. But right now, see, my fire went away because I didn't have my effect in there. If you want to add an effect, there's a handful of effects you can add on to those fonts. So here's one of the effects right here. Here's some of the effects: anaglyph, brick sign, canvas print, crackle. Just like a handful, maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 effects. This one kind of makes it look 3D. This one does too. So you got some kind of cool, interesting effects here. But let's talk about that fire animation one. That's the one that I want to use. So what you would do is you see this first column right here. The stuff that's in the first column is the name of the effect, right? And even up here, it tells you how to actually use that. So what you do is at the end of where it says family equals, in our case, I think it says Sand Creek, I'm going to add and effect equals whatever my effect is. So I'm going to have and effect equals fire animation, right? So and effect equals fire animation. I go in here, and effect equals fire animation. I click save. Right, so I've saved it. There's one more thing I have to do. I have to tell this file, okay, what text do I want to have that animation, right? So I'm going to go back to this, and it says class name. So this is whatever element you want to have this effect on it, you need to name it with that class, right? So this class is font effect fire animation. So you can see in my code here, I kind of already did that. My H1, that's why I wanted to have that fire effect animation. So I just added a class within that element that says class equals font effect fire animation. And so that should give it that animation. So I save that. Let's double check. Let's go to my, there we go. We're back to it, right? So I've got my glowing happy Halloween, my dancing GIF, which I just found online, my background, which again, I think I found for free online. Yeah, and there you go. So it's a pretty easy little, you know, Halloween e-card or something like that if you wanted to think of it that way. So anyways, happy Halloween. Go out there, play around with some Google Fonts, and yeah, keep having fun coding. And we'll see you guys later.